Now we will move on to the next topic, that is rack and pinion. This is a special case of spur gearing where the radius of wheel, the larger gear, is made infinite. So it will look somewhat like this: rack and pinion. There is a gear and there is a rack. The rack is having tooth and the gear is also having teeth, and the gear is rotating and is moving in the linear fashion. So gear is rotating like this, it will move in this direction. This is called rack, which is nothing but a wheel R, the pitch circle radius, the pitch circle diameter made infinity, and this is the pinion. If you zoom in the profile of a rack and pinion, first thing you will notice that we can draw a similar velocity diagram that what we drawn earlier for the gear, spur gear. This is a point of contact, and then you have distance from center. This is point O1, there is point O2, which is center of the wheel. Now the center of the wheel is infinity. So because of that, the base circle will also be a flat. So for rack, since R is equal to infinity, so base circle radius, that was the quantity O2 I I2 O2 I2 O2 I2 will also be infinity. So hence you know that the involute profile is generated from the base circle by drawing a tangent, like this is the point I2, this is the base circle center, O2 is the same as the wheel center, and then the involute profile is drawn by opening a thread in the spool. So now since this circle is also infinity, base circle, okay, radius base is equal to infinity. So the profile drawn it by base circle will be a straight line. The curvature effect will not come. Since the curvature of the base is gone, base is gone, the curvature of the gear will gone. So the teeth of the pinion do not look like a curved involute shape profile. The involute profile actually looks like a straight teeth. And then you have the normal involute profile of the pinion. So this is the pinion teeth, and this is the top face of the pinion. This is the top face of the rack teeth. This is the root circle of the pinion. This is the root circle or root face of the rack. And for doing our derivation, we'll draw our conventional centers and other quantities. So this is a center line connecting center to center. Although the center is infinity, it lies somewhere. So this will be a normal line. It will the pinion will have a center because it is gear wheel. So let's say the center is at O1, following our earlier convention. The radius and the pitch point lies somewhere here. Let's say this is the pitch point. So the common tangent will be a horizontal line, common tangent to the pitch circles. So the pitch circle of the pinion will look like this. The pitch circle of the wheel will be a straight line since R is infinity. And this is the small r. O2, O1P is small r. And this is the addendum circle of the what about the addendum circle of the rack? So this is the top face of the rack. There will be a straight line passing through the top face, which will be the addendum circle of rack. Of rack. This line, and there will be a pressure line. So the pressure line is the line joining the pitch point to the point of contact. So it will like something like this. Point of contact and pitch line are joined and are extended on either side. So this is a force line, a pressure line. In the force line, the addendum circle cutting the force line is a point A here, And here the addendum circle of pinion cutting the force line is the point B. And for determining the base circle, we drop a perpendicular from the center of the pinion to the force line, and we get the point I1. Perpendicular, we get I1. So O1 I1 will determine the base circle. And for this case, for wheel case, the O1 I1 cannot be determined since the O2 I2 is also infinity. So we will do our normal derivation of interest. The normal derivation of interest are the arc of contact or path of contact. So for that, we will calculate the arc of contact is path of contact divided by cos xi. Xi is the angle made by the pressure line to the common tangent to the pitch circle. So this is the angle xi. So we will do our derivation for the path of contact. So for first we will do path of approach. Path of approach is nothing but a distance AP from the first point where the contact happens, that is point A, to the pitch circle point, the center point AP. So the rack addendum will be a given quantity normally. The rack addendum is the distance of top face of the rack to the pitch point. So that will be given, let's say A. So small a is rack addendum. It will be a given quantity. So from this small circle, like if you draw perpendicular from A to the common tangent, this is the distance A. Let's say this point is something L. This point is L. So AL is A. AL is equal to A, and this triangle, from triangle APL, we find that AP is equal to A by sin xi. AP is a hypotenuse. AP sin xi will be equal to AL, that is rack addendum A. So this is the path of approach. For the path of recess, that is equal to the distance PB. This following the earlier approach for the pinion, because pinion is still a rotating member. So PB will be equal to BI1 minus PI1. Now we know that BI1 you can get from this triangle O1 BI1. So from triangle O1 BI1, BI1 is equal to hypotenuse, that is O1B. O1B is the addendum circle radius R addendum of the pinion square minus O1 I1. O1 I1 is from this triangle O1 P I1. O1 I1 is O1 P cos xi. O1 P is smaller. So R cos xi whole square. This is, and PI1 we know that PI1 from the triangle O1 PI1, the PI1 is equal to small r times xi. So what is the total path of contact? That is path of approach plus path of recess. This is equal to, path of approach is A by sin xi, and path of recess is square root of small r, the pinion addendum circle radius, minus the pitch circle radius for the pinion square cos square xi. Xi is the pressure angle, minus r square sin square xi for the rack and pinions. A is given rack addendum. For the interference condition, we know that the interference occurs for the larger wheel first. So we'll consider for rack in this geometry. So the track addendum A is given. If you keep on increasing A, this point capital A will go and touch the point I1. So the maximum limiting case will occur when the rack addendum is such that A is just touching I1. That time you can get the maximum A value of A, allowed value of A from this triangle P I1, and let's say this is some point K. So we know the distance I1P. I1P is equal to R sin xi, and the in triangle I1PK, you can see here I1PK, we have formed a new triangle for determining the maximum addendum. KP is the maximum addendum. So KP will be equal to I1P, and this angle will again be xi. So I1P sin xi. KP is equal to I1P sin xi. This is equal to R sin xi equal to R sin square xi. So this is A max. So maximum rack addendum should be less than R sin square xi, where R is radius of pinion and xi is pressure angle. So from this is a very simple formula, that's why it is a probability of objective question coming from this topic. In the gears terminology, some standards are defined by British Standards Institution. So they have defined some standard gear profile. Due to that, the interchangeability is achieved. That means you have one parameter for a gear. When that one parameter is defined, you can match the corresponding gears. That parameter is called module. So module, it will be used to define entire gear parameters. So from my module, you know the diameter of the PCD, then you can get the number of teeth. Since module is equal to, if you recall, d by t, or small d by small t. So if you know the pitch circle diameter for which you want the transmission, you can get the number of teeth. And the standards defined are that standard addendum for any British Standard Institution teeth will be equal to module, and standard addendum is defined as 1.25 times module, and standard pressure angle is defined as 20 degree. So you can choose any gear which is following this standard, and then there are some standard modules defined which the engineers will choose for a particular application. Standard modules are 1, half, 20, 25, 30, etc. So when you go to the shop, you can ask for a 18 module gear, and then you will be pretty sure that it will mesh with another 18 module gear, and the diameter of the pitch circle can vary. And you can also mesh it with a rack which is having 18 module. So like this, the interchangeability is very convenient. You don't have different gear profiles from every vendor, and then you are finding hard time to match those. So with this, we come towards the end of the theory section. Now we'll take up some numericals on the theory of gears that we have just discussed. So a problem is defined here is that two gear wheels of 4.5 module and having 23 and 33 teeth respectively are in mesh. The pressure angle is given as 20 degree, and each wheel has a standard addendum of one module. So we have to find in this problem length of arc of contact, first part of the problem. Second part is maximum sliding velocity. So for both this problem, we have to recall the formula, the length of the arc of contact and sliding velocity. We have derived the formula. We need to find some standard quantities like r, which is the radius of pitch circle of the pinion. So pinion is having 23 teeth and module is 4.5. When two gears are in mesh, the module will be same for both the gears. This is one fact you should remember. So radius will be equal to module into number of teeth, that is the diameter. Module was d by t or small d by small t. So r is d by 2. For pinion, the radius, pitch circle radius is 54 mm. Similarly, for the wheel, the pitch circle radius is 45 into 33 divided by 2 equal to 74.25 mm. So we have found the pitch circle radiuses for both the wheel. Now the addendum is standard. Addendum is given as standard addendum of British units, and that is equal to 1 into module. So addendum for both the wheels is 4.5 mm. So the radius of addendum circle for the pinion is equal to r plus addendum, which will be equal to 54 plus 4.5 mm equal to 58.5 mm. And similarly, the addendum circle radius for the wheel will be equal to r plus addendum, that is equal to module. So it will be equal to 78.75 plus 4.5 equal to 78.75, 54.75 mm. We know the value of r, small r and Ra. Now we know the formula for path of contact. So path of approach is Ra square minus r square cos square xi minus r sin xi. So this is equal to, put the values here simply, do the calculation, 78.75 square minus 74.25 square cos square 20 degree minus 74. So this, if you do the calculation, will come around 11.14 mm. Similarly, the path of recess, that is a quantity PB in our diagrams. So it is determined from the pinion. The similar formula is here, Ra square minus small r square cos square xi minus small r sin xi. If you put the values for Ra and r and do the calculation, you find a value of 10.67 mm. So path of contact will be summation of these two quantities. So 11.14 plus 10.67 is 2. 21.81 is the path of contact. 21.8. We also need to determine the arc of contact. So arc of contact, we remember it is equal to path of contact divided by cos xi. So 21.81 divided by cos 20 degree, which will be equal to 23.18 mm. So this is the complete answer of the first part, path of contact and the arc of contact. Now what about the velocity of sliding? The second part of the question. Velocity of sliding, if you recall the formula, it was given by omega plus ohm into Pc. So Pc is the distance between the point of contact to the pitch point. So in this question, part 2 was maximum value of velocity or maximum velocity of sliding. Maximum velocity of sliding will occur when the distance PC is maximum. So PC is the distance between point of contact and the pitch point. The extreme points of contact are A and B, where the A is the point where the engagement takes place, and B is the point where the gear tooth leaves the engagement. So we will have to find the maximum of path of approach or recess. So among these two, which one is the maximum value? That will be the maximum distance of a point of contact from the pitch point. So if you see, the path of recess was around 10.67, path of approach was 11.14. So max PC is equal to AP, the path of approach, and the value was 11.14, and omega we have to determine. So we know that the angular velocity RPM of the pinion is 120 RPM, so 2 pi n by 60. So omega, angular velocity of pinion is around 12.57 radian per second, and the angular velocity of the wheel we can determine from the velocity ratio. Ohm by omega is equal to small t by big T, the number of teeth on the pinion. So T is 24, small t, and big T, capital T is 33. So ohm is equal to 24 into 33 multiplied by omega, that is 12.57 radian per second. So ohm is 9.14 radian per second. So you can see that the wheel is moving slower than the pinion. Pinion is moving faster. The wheel moves slower. So maximum velocity of sliding is equal to omega plus ohm into max PC, that we saw is 11.14. Substituting the value 242 millimeter per second. So this is the maximum value of velocity of sliding. Answer for the second part. We'll take up another problem. This is one is related to the rack and pinion. So we have a 20 teeth pinion and 125 mm pitch circle diameter for the pinion. It is driving a rack. The addendum for both rack and pinion is 6 mm. So the questions asked, this is the data given. The question asked is that first part, find what is the least pressure angle to avoid undercutting. So undercutting is nothing but interference. The second part is that with above pressure angle, that is the for avoiding the interference, find length of arc of contact. Now usual question is asked is the arc of contact only, because that will help us to determine the contact ratio. Arc of contact and minimum number of teeth in contact at any time, any given instant. What are the minimum number of teeth in engagement? These are the two questions. For solution, we'll use the derivation that we just did for the rack and pinion. We found that the rack addendum should be less than r sine square xi for no interference. Very simple no interference condition for the rack and pinion. The rack addendum is given as 6 mm here. So 6 must be less than r. R is the radius of the pinion. So r is equal to PCD of pinion divided by 2. That is equal to 125 by 2. So 60 2.5 mm, the value of r. Sine square xi, we want to solve this equation, we will solve for the limiting case where it is just equal. So sine square xi must be greater than or equal to 6 by 62.5, or sine, if you simplify it, sine xi should be greater than or equal to 0.31, or if you do sine inverse, you get xi be greater than or equal to 18.3 degrees. This is the minimum value of pressure angle. This is the answer for the first part. Now for the second part, we need to calculate the addendum circle radius for the pinion RA. RA is equal to this circle radius plus addendum. So R is 62.5 for the pinion and addendum is 6, the standard. So 67.5, 68.5 mm RA. And you recall the formula for the path of contact for rack and pinion. So path of contact was square root of RA square minus R square cos square xi minus R sin xi plus A, that is addendum, divided by sin xi. So you know all of these values. The value of xi we will use here because in the part 2 it was asked that with the above pressure angle find the length of arc of contact. So this is the minimum value of our pressure angle. We use 18.3, and RA we know 68.5, R we know it is 125 by 2, 62.5. R is 62.5 and A is 6 mm. So we substitute all of these values, and when we do the calculation, we will find the solution as path of contact equal to 34.1 mm. Now the second part is to find the arc of contact. Arc of contact is path of contact divided by cos xi, the cos of 18 degrees 3 minutes. This will come around 35.9 mm. This is the arc of contact. Now for finding the number of teeth in engagement, so that is found from the contact ratio. The contact ratio is defined as arc of contact divided by circular pitch. So for that we need to find the circular pitch. Circular pitch is equal to pi d, that is the circumference of the circle diameter, divided by number of teeth, pi d by t. In this case, since we are calculating for pinion, pi small d by small t. So pi and diameter is 125 mm and the number of teeth are 20 given. Circular pitch is we will substitute the value in that. So contact ratio is arc of contact 35.9 divided by 125 pi by 20. Do all the calculation, you will get around 1.83. So since the contact ratio is 1, so maximum teeth in contact can be the whole number above this contact ratio, that is 2, and the minimum teeth in contact is a whole number below the contact ratio, that is 1. So minimum teeth in contact can be 1. So this is our answer for the second part.